About anger a little bit. So I was thinking about like anger's place in my life and in our lives, and how anger is like this really intense energy and emotion that we kind of we don't like. Anger is usually talked about as being a pretty dangerous thing, and not the best way to communicate through anger. But I was thinking about it in my life. When does it make sense? Well, what can I do with my anger? When I feel it, because I do sometimes feel it. And so this is a piece that kind of explores that idea, and it's called Dissolve to Spite Saturation. Kiss to spite sleeping. Some things are worth the bags under your eyes. Dance to spite stagnation, recession, and stasis. Hold hands to spite her for not loving you. Cry to spite ignorance, because this is so real. Don't run. Curse despite formality. So, fuck despite love, scream despite stillness, speak nothing despite the noise, cook despite insecurity. You can feed yourself. This is important. Dance despite death, die despite life, sing despite silence, speak truth despite bullshit, and sleep despite the world, because I am my own rock, especially when I dream. Dream despite reality. Smoke despite rationality. Don't smoke. Stoke sober despite anything that ever tried to fool you or slow you. Howl despite evolution. There are some things we should never lose. Read despite writing. Make moves despite crying, and write despite them for missing the point. Scratch despite smoothness, because I ain't always soft. Caress despite calluses, because I ain't always hard. Spit despite lying. Live despite dying. Be present despite the future. Forget despite the past. Let it go. It will simply be what it was. There is nothing less complicated. And never spite the present. And smile with your eyes. They're the most honest things about you. And while I'm thinking about seeing, close your eyes despite vulnerability. There are patterns on those closed cave walls. Learn from them, and remember in the end, say to yourself, they are my eyes, not yours. Sometimes they're yours. Be alone despite the crowds. Be together despite the darkness, and make love, and don't shower. Soaking is sticky. I don't want to wash you off of me. Whisper to my hands and hair. Tickle my sense of smell, and I'll remember, and smile despite Axe deodorant. Forever trying to convince me that cool metal was something I ever wanted to smell like. I'd rather smell like flushed veins, warm stains. I'd rather smell like your hair. I got poetry in motion to give me my sense of smell. I'll leave the cold metal for the robots. Don't be a robot. And love despite it all. That's a poem. Thank you. Thank you.